You know that feeling when the day is finally over, when the lights are off, when the world outside has gone quiet, but inside, something is still running, still replaying, still worrying, still planning tomorrow before today has even rested. Your body is lying down, but your mind is still standing up, still fighting, still pushing, still trying to figure everything out. If that's you tonight, you're not broken. You're not doing it wrong. You're just someone who cares a lot, someone who tries hard, someone who carries a lot more than they probably should. And tonight, you don't have to carry anything. Not for the next few minutes, not for the next few hours. Tonight, you're allowed to just sink, slowly, gently, like a stone. Welcome to Sleepy Zen Story. I'm so glad you're here. Wherever you are in the world right now, and truly, wherever that is, I want you to know that this space was made for you. Before we go anywhere together tonight, I want to ask you something, and you don't have to answer out loud. Just let it pass through your mind like a cloud. Where in the world are you listening from right now? Are you in a warm room somewhere with rain against the window? Are you lying under stars in a place still and quiet? Are you in a city that never really sleeps, but you're trying to? And what time is it for you? Is it that soft hour just after midnight? Is the evening just beginning to turn? Are you somewhere in that in-between place? Not quite day, not quite night. It doesn't matter. Let the thought go. There's no right answer, no wrong place to be. You're here. That's enough. Take one slow breath with me now. In through your nose and out slowly through your mouth. Good. Let's begin. Find your position. If you're lying down, let your arms rest at your sides or across your belly, wherever they feel heavy and natural. Let your legs uncross. Let your feet fall open. Let your jaw go soft. You don't have to hold your face in any particular shape tonight. You can let your eyebrows drop. Let the tiny muscles around your eyes stop working. You don't have to look like anything. You don't have to be anything. Just a body lying down in the dark. Notice the weight of yourself. Notice how the surface beneath you is holding you. The bed, the floor, the ground. You don't have to hold yourself up anymore. The earth is doing it. It's been doing it this whole time. Take another slow breath in and out. With every breath out, imagine you're getting just a little heavier. Not in a tired way, in a settled way, like a stone finding its place at the bottom of a still lake. Let me tell you a story. It's not a complicated story. It doesn't have heroes or battles or big dramatic endings. It's a quiet story, the kind of story that doesn't need to go anywhere to mean something. Long ago, in a time when people still sat by rivers to think, there was a young person
just like you. They didn't have all the answers. They weren't the wisest person in their village. They weren't the strongest. They weren't the most important. But they tried very, very hard. Every single day, they tried. They pushed themselves to be better, to do more, to figure things out faster, to not make mistakes. And when things didn't go the way they planned, when they failed or fell short or felt lost, they pushed harder. They believed, the way a lot of us believe, that the answer to struggle was more effort, that the answer to sinking was to swim faster, that depth could only be reached by force. One night, after a day that had been especially hard, a day where everything seemed to resist them, this young person walked to the edge of a river, not to do anything, not to go anywhere, just to sit. The moon was out, full and round and very, very still. It didn't move, it didn't try, it just was. And its light lay across the river like a road made of silver. The young person sat at the edge for a long time, watching the water, listening to the small sounds of night, a frog somewhere, the soft push of water against reeds, the distant call of something in the trees. And then they picked up a stone, just a small one, smooth and round and cool in their palm, a stone that was probably at the edge of this river for 100 years. They held it for a moment, and without really thinking about it, they let it go.
The stone didn't fight the water. It didn't resist the river. It didn't try to stay near the surface. It just went in. And as it sank, it passed through every layer of the water slowly. The bright surface layer where the moonlight played, the darker, cooler middle where things moved slowly, and then deeper into the quiet, into the still, into the part of the river that nothing disturbed. The young person watched the ripples spread outward, wider and wider, and then gone. The surface was smooth again, as if nothing had happened, as if the stone had always been there at the bottom. And something about that, something about the way that stone just let itself go, something about the way it didn't fight, didn't resist, didn't try to float, it did something to the young person. They felt something in their chest loosen, just a little, like a knot that had been there so long they'd forgotten it was a knot. They picked up another stone, held it, and thought about their day, all the places they had tried to force things, all the moments they had pushed and gotten nowhere, the conversation that had gone wrong, the task they couldn't finish, the feeling at the end of the day of having run very hard and moved very little. They held all of it in their mind, and they held the stone, and then they let the stone go. Again, another stone, this one for the worry, the low, constant worry that followed them like a second shadow, the what-ifs, the not good enoughs,
the quiet fear that no matter how hard they worked, it would never be quite enough. They held and let it go. And another, for the exhaustion, the kind of tired that sleep doesn't fully fix, the tired that comes from being in a constant state of effort.
And another, and another. With each stone, the young person felt lighter, not because their problems were gone, but because they had finally, for one quiet moment, stopped gripping them. This is the thing about stones. A stone doesn't try to be deep. It doesn't plan to reach the bottom. It doesn't struggle towards stillness. It just releases, and depth finds it. We spend so much of our lives trying to force things, trying to force sleep, trying to force happiness, trying to force understanding, trying to force the future to come faster, trying to force the past to mean something different. We push, we grip, we try. And the more we push, the more resistance we feel. Have you ever tried to remember a word, and the harder you try, the further away it gets? And then later, when you've forgotten you were even trying, it comes. Just like that, without effort, without force. That's not magic. That's how depth works. Depth doesn't come from pushing down. Depth comes from letting go of the surface. The young person sat by the river for a long, long time that night, long after they ran out of stones. They just sat. And the moon moved slowly across the sky, and the river kept moving. And something very quiet happened inside them. Not a revelation, not a big dramatic shift, just a settling, like when the dust in a jar of water finally finds the bottom, not because anything pushed it, just because nothing was shaking it anymore. You know that feeling? When you stop fighting sleep? When you finally just give up trying to sleep? And that's the exact moment it comes? That's the lesson of the stone. Depth comes from surrender, not from force. I want to take you somewhere now. Not far, just inward. Close your eyes if they're not already closed, and imagine you are sitting at the edge of a river. It's night. It's warm. The kind of warm that makes you feel safe instead of hot. The moon is above you, full and round and very, very still, and its light is making a silver path across the water. The water moves, but slowly. No rushing, no urgency. Just water doing what water does. You can hear it. The soft, low murmur of the river moving past. The occasional small sound of water touching a stone. A ripple finding the bank. The air smells like cool earth and water and night, and you are just sitting. Not waiting for anything, not going anywhere, just here. In your hand, you feel something, a smooth, small stone, cool and round. It fits perfectly in your palm. Hold it for a moment. Notice its weight. Notice how solid it feels. Notice how it's been shaped by water over so much time. All those edges worn smooth, all that roughness gently polished away. Into this stone, you can place anything, any thought that is still running, any worry still spinning, any tension left in your body from today. You don't have to name it precisely. You don't have to understand it. Just feel it and let it move from you into the stone. Good. Now, gently let the stone go. Drop it into the river. Watch how it sinks. Watch how easily it goes. Watch how the water simply receives it. No judgment, no resistance. The water doesn't say not yet, or you need to try harder first. It just accepts, and the stone sinks through the bright surface, through the cooler middle layer, down into the dark, still quiet at the bottom. The ripples spread across the surface, wide and wider, and then gone, smooth, still. Pick up another stone, this one for the body, for the tension still sitting in your shoulders, in your jaw, in your hands. Feel the weight of it and let it carry all of that out of you and let it go. And another, this one for the mind, for every thought that's been circling tonight, every unfinished sentence, every unsent reply, every plan that doesn't have an answer yet. All of it into the stone and let it go. You don't have to solve anything tonight. You don't have to be better tomorrow. You don't have to figure out next week. Right now, there is only the river, the moon, the sound of water, and you getting lighter. Imagine now that the river has widened, slowly, gradually. The current has slowed. The banks have spread far apart. And now you are not sitting at the edge of a river anymore. You are floating very gently on the surface of a still dark lake. The moon is reflected perfectly in the water beneath you, as if there are two moons, one above, one below, and you are floating between them. The water holds you completely. You don't have to do anything to stay afloat. You don't have to kick or paddle or keep yourself up. The water just holds you. Your arms are floating. Your legs are floating. Your whole body is being held. Feel your breath, slow and easy. When you breathe in, you rise very slightly. When you breathe out, you sink very slightly. In, rise. Out, sink. In, rise. Out, sink. The water is perfectly still now, not because someone made it still, not because you forced it to be quiet, just because nothing is disturbing it. This is what your mind is like when you stop fighting it. Not empty, never fully empty, but still, the way a deep lake is still. Things are still there beneath the surface, the stones, the plants, the life, but the surface is smooth, and the reflection is clear. You've done something good tonight. You came here. You lay down. You let go, even just a little. That matters. Tomorrow will come, and with it, whatever comes. Tasks, questions, choices. But tomorrow is not here yet. Right now, there is only the lake, the stillness, the moonlight on the water, the soft sounds of night, and you, somewhere between awake and dreaming, sinking slowly into the deepest rest. Let the night hold you now, the way the water holds the stone, without effort, without condition, just hold. If sleep comes, welcome it. If it takes a little longer, that's okay too. Just stay here, in the stillness, in the quiet, in the dark. There is nowhere else to be. The stone has found its place, resting at the bottom, still at peace.
Exactly where it is supposed to be. Wherever you are in the world tonight, whatever time it is where you are, I hope this found you at the right moment. I hope you feel, even just a little, that you don't have to carry it all right now. That depth comes not from pushing, but from letting go. Sleep well. Rest deeply. And remember, the stone never had to try. Good night. From Sleepy Zen Story.